Eriksen, that is Eriksen, Christian, one of the players that I really treasure a lot in the game of football ever since I saw him play for Ajax, Tottenham Hotspur, Inter Milan, Man United, Brentford, and so many more games or teams. He has gone ahead obviously coming through and obviously given Kobbie Mainoo his flowers and has gone ahead to back him to succeed at the club of Man United. That is Eriksen for you. We are going to delve into that and see exactly what he really meant and back it with facts. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to spill the beans as far as the contract situation of Anton Martial and Rafael Varane are really concerned. Then lastly, we are going to talk about Sergio Roglan farewell message to the fans of Man United, having gone ahead to host him for the last 6 months at one of the biggest teams in the world. And that's what we're going to discuss about in this episode, and hope you guys are really having fun. Right, this is Rokan David, and good morning. We thank God for the gift of life. It's really great to have you onto this channel because it's always nice to see you in this mode. And it's the 6th of January 2024. First six days are really good for me, but we thank God for really making them good, and we really pray for him to make them better and better and better. Not so let's see close to 100 likes, smash on this video, and let's continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, we are having a very huge update coming in through from Eriksen, who was speaking to the website of Man United, and he had the following to say about Kobbie Mainoo, the 18-year-old, English international. Ghana want to lure him to obviously sign him, but I went ahead and really warned you that if Kobbie Mainoo keeps this pace, don't be surprised for the manager of England to take him to the Euros, because he's far much better than very many players. And I really sent a warning to Arsenal fans that if Kobbie Mainoo keeps flying like this at the age of 18, I tell you this, Declan Rice's position is going to be in danger. All else, we'll see Declan Rice, Kobbie Mainoo in that double pivot as Jude Bellingham plays ahead of them, because I don't see any other player that can play alongside Declan Rice other than Kobbie Mainoo. That is it. So it's a warning, but I don't know whether people will take it in good faith. But I've gone ahead to obviously give you my opinion. But if at all you've been watching this guy Kobbie Mainoo, he's really one of a kind, and we have all to admit that he's really doing great. And what has Eriksen gone ahead to say about this huge youngster? And these are his words. I'm very impressed. I've seen him in training. I've seen him up close. I really like what I see. He's an exceptional player. He's still a very young boy, but he's doing very well, and he's making a place for himself onto the team. Now, if you've gone ahead to track very well back then from Sir Alex Ferguson, I think we've not gone ahead to produce a young, talented midfielder like Kobbie Mainoo. I'll let you some of the names. Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes. I'm talking about central midfielders, you get? Then there came Gibson, there was Darren Fletcher, there was, who else? A central midfielder that the club of Man United has gone ahead to produce. I don't have many onto my fingertips, but you can name it. But the best midfielder I've ever gone ahead to produce is Paul Scholes, not so? For me, Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt, the best midfielder I've ever gone ahead to produce, from the academy of Man United. But this guy has all the attributes that Paul Scholes had, and he's having every attribute that Paul Scholes never had. Paul Scholes was not a giant, He was not a fighter. I really liked the way he tracked the game. He was really a very good player, but he had limitations to his game. But for Kobbie Mainoo, you look at his skill set, Scholes never had the skill set of Kobbie Mainoo. That is it, and Kobbie Mainoo is just 18. He's just 18 and performing at a level that everyone is really surprised of. And that's why Eriksen is telling you that he's an exceptional player. What makes this guy exceptional is that he is what we call a full package. He's a complete player. If you want to compete in the modern game, intensity, physicality, agility, your skill set should all give you the best that you deserve. Even if you bring in Kevin De Bruyne, Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have a skill set like this boy has. This boy has a better skill set, and the physicality is really one of the kinds that have gone ahead to impress Erik ten Hag, and that's why he went ahead to say to Zidane Igbo and Charlie Savage that amidst how talented you are, your physicality cannot enable you to play for the club of Manchester United. Go to Utrecht in Eredivisie, that is Zidane Igbo and Mr. Charlie Savage. I think he went, was it Reading? I think that's where he's playing from, because United knew exactly what they are bringing, and they are creating in space for the new star, and that is Kobbie Mainoo, and everyone is really giving him his flowers. Guys, this guy is exceptional, he's talented, and he's being hailed by one of the most talented players I've gone ahead to see in the last decade. That is Eriksen. He has been one of the best midfielders. Tottenham Hotspur got him from Ajax after they went ahead to sell Luka Modric to they sold Luka Modric to Real Madrid, and they brought him as a replacement for Luka Modric, and no one at Spurs ever missed Luka Modric ever since this man came in through and really put up his performances at Spurs. And to let you know that I think no player has gone ahead to create more assists in the Premier League ever since this lad showed up from 2013 till now. No player, no midfielder in the Premier League has gone ahead to obviously put in more assists than him. It shows you how special he is. But if at all a special talent like Eriksen comes out and really tells you that this boy is exceptional, he means it, because these are players who know how good they are, and coming out to really give flowers to a player at the age of 18 that is good, it shows you what levels this guy is all about. And for Eriksen, he knows it well that at the age of 18, because right now he's 30, he's 31 years of age, you go back 13 years back, where was he? He was at Ajax, playing at Ajax, and he came in through at Tottenham Hotspur at the age of 20. You understand? But Kobbie Mainoo is performing at Man United at the age of 18. And there is no way you can compare Tottenham Hotspur with Man United. At Tottenham Hotspur, you have all the time. You have all the time, to do whatever you want and really cop up. No one is going to put you on pressure like how United does. United, even a youngster like Garnacho, people pile pressure on him if at all he doesn't perform. That's how pressureful United is. So, if Eriksen is giving this boy his flowers, the boy deserves the flowers. This boy is exceptional, and he is really more than a generational talent. That is it. Then he also added and really said the following, that just like what he's doing, being available for training and showing his qualities in the game, which he has done, then obviously it's up to the manager to choose and to play him and get his confidence from there. Now, talking about his discipline and behavior, he's well behaved, and what Erik ten Hag did that was really special was to really sometimes tell him to be with Jadon Sancho, because he wants to hear out on Jadon Sancho and tell him that go next to him and he should really and ask him why you are exiled from the team. And these are things that Erik ten Hag is going to hit with the club of Man United that will shape up players like Kobbie Mainoo, because they won't lose their head. That is it. They want down tools, because they know exactly the mentality at the club of Manchester United. And if the mentality is not right, the player won't really get you to where you deserve to be. And Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to give him a go into very many games. And the one that people thought that he's not going to start, or if at all he starts, he won't really manage, is that one at Anfield. He played very well and controlled everything in that midfield. And Ten Hag has gone ahead to get away the bad energy. The bad characters, Ronaldo's, Sancho's, and other players that are not really providing a conducive environment for these youngsters to obviously thrive in. He's showing them that to play for the club of Manchester United, there are levels. If you don't meet those levels, you cannot obviously get going into my team. Look at how he treated Marcus Rashford. Coming late, 15 seconds late for the match prep of Wolverhampton Wanderers last season, he benched him for the first half, played 45 minutes and scored the winner. That was a lesson learned, from Marcus Rashford, and these youngsters know it very well. Sancho, all what he did coming late and doing all his crazy stuff, guess what happened? He exiled him. You got? And he's going to Borussia Dortmund. this is a no-nonsense manager. The Erik ten Hag getting Cristiano Ronaldo out of the team of Man United was a very huge statement, sent to Cristiano Ronaldo and the youngster at the club of Man United, that if at all you misbehave, I'm not going to allow that to obviously happen, meaning that he had no room for people misbehaving at the club of Man United. Then, the other one is how he treated Garnacho. Garnacho was one of the players that excited Erik ten Hag no sooner he came in through the club of Man United at Carrington. He was one of those players that he really loved, but because of his attitude, Erik ten Hag took him onto the pre-season tour in Asia and Austria, and he never played any game. He never played any game until his mentality was right. That's when Erik ten Hag said, all right, I can now get you into my team. That is it. So this manager is really one of a kind, and he's trying to lay a very good mentality build-up for these players and know that to play for big teams, there are standards that you need to meet. And this is what Erik ten Hag is really putting up at the club of Man United. And he told us that the board told him while hiring him that we want higher standards like they are, or like they are practiced at Manchester City and Liverpool. So he knows exactly what standards are supposed to be set for teams like that to prevail. And that's what he's doing at Man United. And for Kobbie Mainoo, the sky is not the limit for him because there are even footsteps on the moon. That is all about Kobbie Mainoo and the hails he's going to have to get from Eriksen. Now, there have been stories. Anton Martial leaving in January. Rafael Varane leaving in January. United willing to keep him until the end of the season and really let them go as free agents. That has also been one of the factors that have been really talked about. But Erik ten Hag, towards the game of Wigan, he has gone ahead to address this. And in his words, he said, we are talking with Rafael Varane and Anton Martial, and we triggered the options on Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, and Hannibal. I think that is an internal discussion between the club and the players. So, we all know exactly what's happening at the club of Man United, and it's really going out not the good way for the players. But for me, as a fan of Man United, this is what we call clearing the dead wood. These two players, as you see them here, they are very talented, and they can really showcase and really show exactly what they have. But the problem is their inconsistency. Both are injury-prone players, and they are earning huge wages. When you combine their wages, almost £600,000 a week is what United really pays these players. And why do you pay this pair that amount of money when they're not readily available? Half of Anton Martial's salary, that is like £130,000 a week, can get you a striker that can come in through and obviously do the needful. Because when I look at Girassi at £100,000 a week, he can upgrade you to play for the club of Man United. That is it. And half of Rafael Varane's salary can get you to Debo and an elite defender at the club of Man United. Because Varane earns £340,000 a week. That is £160,000 a week. So I think Todibo, he can even play you football at £130,000 a week, meaning that you'll be saving £180,000 a week from Rafael Varane, and for Anton Martial would have gone ahead to save close to 120. That is £300,000 a week. So £300,000 a week times 4, that is a math, that is 1.2 times a year. That is close to £15 million. That's a lot of money to be saved by the club of Man United, because £15 million might be that missing money to really get you players that you want. So I think we are going to be acting in a better way, and we are going to really let these players really know. And the reason as to why they are in negotiation with the club of Man United is all about the club wanting these people to take pay cuts, like Rafael Varane to be earning £200,000 a week, and Anton Martial go at around £150,000 a week. If they really say no, the club will have nothing to do. They'll tell them that 6 months are in, you can now negotiate a contract with the team you want to be playing for next season. And that's exactly what the club is all about. But we wait and see how these players are really gonna act. Are they going to be considerate? Because the fact is, they are not playing games, yet they're really earning a lot of money, and yet the club of Man United just has to see to it that it really takes them off. So after that, Sergio Reguilón was one of those players that his loan spell was terminated by Man United as a clause was included into his short-term loan for the club of Manchester United, and it was supposed to be triggered in January if United felt like its left backs were going to be back. Sergio Reguilón has been appreciative to the fans of Man United, and this is what he had to say. It has been great to play for Man United, and I just want to say thank you to the club, the fans and my teammates. It was a privilege to play for this huge club. I wish all the best for the Red Devils. So he wishes the club all the best, and it has gone ahead to really revive his chances of really getting a team to play for. Borussia Dortmund is really one of those teams that are interested in signing Sergio Reguilón, and in the summer transfer window, not him was coming close to sign this player. But playing for Man United is a privilege, and it's really a grand stage for you to showcase your goods. And this is how this guy came in through and showcased his goods, and everyone went ahead to obviously get them. So he's back at Spurs, and I think he's gonna be sold. So guys, your thoughts on Eriksen backing Kobbie Mainoo to succeed at the club of Man United are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Erik ten Hag on the contract situation of Antoine Martial and Raphael Varane? Will the club kick a common ground with these players? And lastly, Sergio Reguilón, farewell message to the fans of Man United. Good morning. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because you want to hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month. And guys, we out for now. See you later. Rokan David remains my name, and we out. 100 likes are what we are calling in for this channel. Bye bye.